It's Friday, April 28th. Students participate in the Olympics, BHS Beautification, and what would you do if you were 6 inches tall? All this and more on this week's edition of The Stinger on Air. Good morning, Jackets. I'm Braxton Rollison. Welcome to this week's edition of The Stinger on Air. Last Friday, Jackets volunteered to set up and supervise a special event. Michael Escamilla tells us more.
Let the games begin.
Students from across the school district participated in this year's Special Olympics, which was held at Lancaster Rec Center.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Our very own Olympian Joseph Mahaffey helped kick things off by leading the Pledge of Allegiance.
So what we're doing is we're acting as team leaders. We're taking the kids all around to different games and then rotating them when it's time to come. And we're cheering them on, letting them play the games and let them have fun today.
Students from JROTC and Educators Rising volunteered to help the athletes and organized games for them to play.
Everybody is different, and that there's activities here that allows everybody's differences to come together.
I feel really happy about doing it. Like, honestly, it makes me really happy to see the kids happy.
I love little kids. I love helping out people.
I just wanted to be here for the kids and just experience how this will be.
Thanks, Michael. Gail Posopenko's agriculture class took on a beautification project for BHS. The students took the old pots from the front of the school and emptied them. Then they washed the pots and repainted them back to their original color. The Jackets carefully selected flowers and other greenery that they had grown themselves to fill the pots. Posopenko says that this is the students' first time doing a project like this, and she hopes next year they can improve on their designs. National Librarians Week is from April 23rd through the 29th. Here at BHS, we have an amazing librarian. Kim Parker has been a librarian for 20 years and spent 12 of that here at Buford. Parker says that there's a lot that goes into her job.
My job has lots of different layers to it. Not only do I help teachers, but I also help students.
Over the years, Parker's job has changed with the rise of technology. Her love for books and creative nature are what led her to this dynamic career. Parker stresses that reading is still an integral part of education. The BHS Symphonic Band kicked off concert and award season in the multipurpose building on Tuesday night. The band played the music they had performed for judging during the spring. Following the performance, band director Patrick O'Neill made good on a challenge, allowing Cole McIsaac to pie him in the face since the band had achieved a superior rating at the Carowinds Music Festival. Turning to sports. Big news this week as Coach Ed Susi announced that he is leaving Buford. Stinger on Air's Alex Bryson has the story.
Kind of happened kind of quick and late, to be honest with you.
Jackets head football coach Ed Susi has announced that he will be leaving Buford and moving to Battery Creek High School down on the coast.
And I got about a few more years to go, and I think it'd be a good place to stay and retire at. And you just don't know when these opportunities are going to happen, and sometimes the timing's really bad, and it just happened to work out that way for me to have an opportunity to go down there to Battery Creek. And
Susi has been at Buford for the last 2 seasons, posting a record of 9-10, with last year's team making it to the playoffs and finishing 8-3. Susi, who has also rejuvenated the strength program at BHS, reflects on accomplishments his students have achieved.
This is a big project for the staff and myself, and getting the kids in here and having 2 kids place in the state and 1 win it. And the competitions this past year were great. I think the program's only going up. This room's the beginning of it, and those guys keep buying into it. I think the sky's the limit for them.
Athletic Director Eric Funderburk says the search for a new coach has already begun.
We're taking applications right now. We're going to try to start interviews next week, so hopefully in the next couple of weeks we can go through our first, second round of interviews and then narrow it down to a candidate to be our next head coach.
For Buford Stinger on Air, I'm Alex Bryson.
Thanks, Alex. In other sports, Justin Pardue officially signed to wrestle with the Coker Cobras in Hartsville. Family, friends, and teammates were on hand to support Pardue, who is a 2-time state wrestling champion, and he placed 4th in the state weightlifting championship. Congratulations, Justin. A big shout out for the JV baseball team. They finished their season with only 1 loss, a record of 17-1. Looks like the future of the Buford baseball program is in good hands. Playoffs begin next week for girls and boys soccer, softball, and baseball. Let's get out and support our Jackets. What would you do if you were 6 inches tall? That's this week's Stinger on the Street question. But first, Belk's Buzz.
Thank you so much, Braxton. I appreciate that. Good morning, Jackets. I hope everybody's doing very well here on this Friday. Just a few things. No staff birthdays for this week, but hopping into Jacket Pride. Remember, personal responsibility, respect, integrity, dedication, and excellence. Want to thank a lot of folks. First of all, shout out to Ms. Polston, Dr. Mettinger, and Ms. Jacob for finding what you're looking for, as well as Mr. Knight. Just finding what you're looking for and looking for that jacket pride that our students are exhibiting on a consistent basis. So thanks to those folks. And also thank you to Blake Johnson, Caden Dees, Peyton Sweat, Isabella Lucas, Liza Falkenberry, Mackenzie Robinson, Quentin Whitaker, Dylan Thomas, Mackenzie Robinson yet again, and Charles Campbell. Thank you all for showing that jacket pride. Everybody can come up, get your shot at your Susi during your own time today. And then also our t-shirt winner for this week is Mr. Blake Johnson. So great job. We appreciate y'all showing that jacket pride and thankful for what you're doing. Keep it up. All right, with that being said, just looking ahead, getting into some things, being mindful of what's to come next week. First of all, the month of May, right here. Time has turned, and as we've always said, when we get into the spring semester, it goes by fast, so taking advantage of every opportunity. But with that being said, we look into this final grading period that we're in. Remember, the 7th grading period ended this past week. Report cards for the 7th grading period will be issued on Tuesday, May 2nd. And then that very next day, Wednesday, May 3rd, we're already at the point of progress reports for the 8th grading period, okay? So be very mindful of that and that information going out to your parents through Parent Portal and Power School, okay? So also looking ahead to next week, we are really excited about Friday, May 5th. We will celebrate our 7th grading period and Jacket Pride and all of our recognitions that go along with that. Very thankful and excited for the amazing things we have planned for that day. But remember, for those that are eligible for Jacket Pride, we'll run that Jacket Pride schedule. And then we'll also be working to provide support for those folks that aren't quite there as we work to get over that hump to get you ready and seeing the success you need in this last grading period, okay? So just be very mindful of that as we look to Friday. All right. A couple other things we always call this time of year championship season. The reason being, everything you have at stake is in front of you. All of our goals are right here at our fingertips. 40% of our entire grade for the spring semester is still up and ready to be grabbed. And I have a quick quote to share with you just as we get into that moment, all right? And it's from Sophocles, and it simply says, without labor, nothing prospers. Without labor, nothing prospers. If we want to have a prosperous end to this school year, if we want to have a prosperous into all that we've worked towards, it's not going to be done without labor. It's not going to be done without hard work. All right, so just be very mindful of continuing to set that tone, maintaining that focus. I want you to have a great experience here at Buford High School, and with that comes focus. And I think the fun is in winning, quote unquote, right? And the fun is in having an exceptional year where we're seeing great levels of success, and the fun is in that process and us working to continue to get there. All right, so as we enter into this month of May and this championship season that we're on the verge of, just continue to remember, nothing will prosper without labor and that hard work. All right, let's take old Sophocles' word to heart, and let's finish strong and keep working and grinding away. All right, with that being said, want everybody to have a great and safe weekend when the time comes. Go Jackets.
Thanks, Mr. Belk. Michaela Cato and Riley Beckham went to the street with a pretty short question.
Everybody has their own experiences, whether you're 6 feet tall or 6 inches short. But what would you do if you were 6 inches short? If you were 6 inches tall for a day, what would you do?
Trip everybody. Run on everybody's feet.
Why?
Who would not like to see someone fall?
I would hide in people's walls.
And do what?
Use your imagination.
I already am. So, I mean, sometimes I get blown away by the wind.
I couldn't get no shorter, to be honest.
I would just try to survive the day. I feel like I wouldn't be able to do much of anything. I'd probably just sit around and do a lot of nothing because I was only 6 inches tall.
I'd probably ride a rat.
I would make a Lego house and live in it.
How could you make the Lego house if you're like that small?
By using Lego tools to build it.
How would you be able to pick up the tools?
Drive them. Like construction workers. Construction building people, and they're going to build me a house because they're going to come alive.
I would be like a little gremlin. I would run around, have like a pencil in my hand to stab people in their ankles.
Run.
Why?
It'd be funny to watch a little dude run.
What would you do if you were 6 inches tall for a day?
I would tickle people.
Thanks for the ideas, guys. I had no clue I was going to do while I was like this. That's all for this week's Stinger on the Street with Michaela Cato and Riley Beckham.
Thanks, Michaela. That's it for this edition of the Stinger on Air. A big thank you to our sponsors both here and on BufordStinger.com. If you're interested in becoming a Stinger sponsor, check out our website at BufordStinger.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Until next week, I'm Braxton Rawlson for Stinger on Air.